Welcome to another SmarkCast. It's a lot to cover today. I need to cover Raw. I'm going to do uh, my Extreme Rules predictions, and I'm even going to cover last week's SmackDown, which is actually a rarity for me. But something actually happened on SmackDown that was kind of cool, so I figured I'd go ahead and get that out of the way. All right, and I also have a question to answer too. So. Since I have so much to get to, I want to try to keep this under an hour because that's going to take forever to upload to YouTube. So let's go ahead and get it going. Let's talk about SmackDown. Last week's SmackDown, there was something that I thought was actually really cool, which was the Shield decimating all the heels that had beat them previous, the 11 guys. The backstage segments of them taking out everybody one by one showed that they worked great as a cohesive unit, and it made them look really strong going into the match with Evolution. So kudos to WWE on doing that, letting the Shield get their revenge and continue the storyline with, I'm pretty sure it's going to end up being no one wants to help Evolution because they know that they're going to be decimated by the Shield. So that was really cool. And then we had Raw. I'm going to go ahead and skip on to that because I'll get more into Evolution and Shield later when I do my predictions. The opening for Raw, the whole the whole Bray Wyatt with the singing children's choir. That is one of the creepiest things to me. Kids singing or speaking in unison. Yeah, it's just creepy. So that really creeped me out. For like my wife works at a daycare, and whenever I would come in, it would always be "Hi, Darren" all at the same time. And it always creeped me out because really, kids just creep me out. Kids in unison. Kids don't actually creep me out. Kids are okay, but that was a great little opening because it was kind of like a everyone's turning on you, John, even the kids, which is really twisted. I actually enjoyed that segment quite a bit. I actually have friends that aren't wrestling fans that I was like, dude, you gotta watch this. Watched it and they loved it too. They're like, that's really freaking creepy. So I thought that was great. So just an amazing opening for Raw. I mean, took them a while to actually kill it, but the Raw started out really well. I think the whole first hour was great as far as I remember. Not a really good memory. The next thing I wanted to touch on for Raw was the Cesaro swagger thing. I'm just not into it. I mean, it's nothing against Cesaro because Cesaro is one of my absolute favorite wrestlers right now, period. It's just I think that he is on a level that is so far above swagger that it just doesn't it doesn't match up well. Because this is like CM Punk fighting Heath Slater. The levels are just not there. Swagger's just not as good as Cesaro, so I'm a little upset about it. And I think that WWE kind of generally gets the idea that that's pretty much what everyone thinks, so they throw in RVD to kind of offset everything, which was actually a brilliant idea because now I'm more into the match. Next one would be the Rhodes brothers. The Cody Rhodes he fought Alberto Del Rio. Actually tapped out, which was kind of made Cody look weak, but no big deal on that. But at the end of the match, Cody leaves and Goldust tries to console him, and Cody pushes him away, which to me is leading to a Goldust Cody split. However, I'm not happy with the fact that they're going with Cody as the heel. I'm not big on that. I think it should be Goldust as the heel, because Cody just turned face maybe a little more than a year ago, probably under a year ago. He just turned face, so why turn him again? You're going to turn this guy into Kane in the Big Show, switching from heel to face like nonstop. Whereas Goldust actually plays a really, really good heel. I mean, Cody does too, but Goldust was like the quintessential heel back in the day. I mean, he was the one that no one wanted to face because he was so weird and so creepy. So, you know what? Why not? Why not make Goldust the heel here? But clearly that looks like it ain't going to happen. unless they do a little twist on me, which might. I mean, they're pretty good at doing twists. So, I'm not really happy about that. I still want to see that match because I think that match would be stellar. Good, possible 5-star match. I don't think it's gonna. I'm glad they're not gonna push it on Extreme Rules because it really needs to be on a bigger stage, like a SummerSlam or something like that. It really needs to be on one of the big pay-per-views because that's kind of a huge match. Brother versus brother is always like that. Owen Hart and Bret Hart, if you're gonna have that match, have it on a big stage, big time. And I mean, that's probably gonna be maybe Goldust's kind of farewell feud, and who better to go out on than his own brother? So, I'm looking forward to it. At the same time, I'm not happy about Cody being a heel. The next one was kind of huge. 3MB got a win. 3MB actually pinned somebody, which kind of makes me happy, but at the same time, it makes me really upset because that means that, the logic of WWE is if you're standing tall on TV, you're going to fall on pay-per-view. So 3MB was standing tall on TV, which means Hornswoggle is going to lose the match at Extreme Rules, which I will get to that match because people who know me and actually listen to my SmarkCast and watch this know I'm not a fan of El Torito. I'm okay with Hornswoggle, but El Torito, sorry. Okay, we'll get to that. The next one, the Brie Bella, or Brie Danielson now, I guess you would call her, and Kane segment. Felt a little dead to me. The whole dragging her under the ring and stuff like that, wasn't big on that. It was cool when Daniel was fighting back finally, but I mean, it just felt dead. It didn't feel impactful, like when Kane destroyed Daniel Bryan last week on Raw. That actually felt like, okay, the monster's back. That's cool, but to me, it's just, I can't really get into this feud. It's a lot. I mean, it happens a lot where when someone wins a title, I have a hard time getting into the very next feud because they're not going to lose. Daniel Bryan just won this title. He's not going to lose it to Kane in his first defense. That's just not going to happen. So I have trouble getting into it. So if they would have waited a few weeks and done all this, I actually would have been into it because it's actually really cool, but it feels like they're going all out for no reason. I mean, number one, Kane doesn't even deserve the title shot, but that's not really the point. The point is that it's not going to happen. Kane is not going to win. He's destroying Daniel Bryan right now, but Daniel Bryan's going to prevail at the pay-per-view. It's just the way it is. And I just can't get into this, and it really sucks because I'm a huge, huge fan of Kane, and I'm a huge fan of the Monster, and he's actually bringing the Monster back, putting the mask on, and destroying people, dragging people under the ring, and even like people once again who listen to my SmarkCast and all that know that I've been wanting one of the Bella twins to get kidnapped. I wanted Bray Wyatt to kidnap Brie Bella. I wanted Bray Wyatt to kidnap Nikki Bella. And it almost happened. I almost got my wish. I almost got Brie Bella kidnapped by Kane. I was like, yeah, but the whole time I was like, I'm not feeling this because it's useless because Kane is going to lose. And I mean, any wrestling fan who knows the way things work know that that's true. So I just can't get into this feud. And I hope that other people aren't like me. I hope that people can get into this because if people just keep chanting yes and keep cheering for Daniel Bryan, then he's going to keep that title for a while, which is what we need because Daniel Bryan needs to hold this title for a little bit. So not really into it, but I'm actually excited for the match itself because Kane can actually put on a show, and we all know Daniel Bryan can. So I'm thinking that match is going to be great. I can't remember. I think that's an Extreme Rules match. I think it is. It is. It's an Extreme Rules match, meaning basically it's a hardcore match. So there's going to be weapons and stuff like that. Will there be blood? I think someone's going to get busted open the hard way, but we'll see what's going on. Skip on to the next subject. Barrett wins. Everyone knew that he would. No big deal. I'm happy he won, though, because this guy's deserved a push for a long time. A long, long time. And he's actually getting it. And I'm happy for him because he's actually extremely talented. So very cool that he won. I'm glad he's going on to face Big E at the pay-per-view. I'll get into that match here when I start getting into the predictions. The next thing I wanted to cover was the confusing Flair thing. I mean, I know that it wasn't confusing. What was happening was he was kind of being like, you know, the Shield's new thing, congratulations. Then he turned around and winked at Batista, which that's what confused me. I'm like, this is weird, and the crowd wasn't into it, and it was like, this doesn't make any sense. I mean, I was kind of hoping that he would come out there and try to reconcile with all his boys in Evolution, and they'd be like, look, your old Evolution has passed you by, and then they beat him down. But instead, we get Ric Flair coming out talking about how great people are, and then kind of endorsing the Shield, which was, to me, confusing. I think it's going to be a little twist where Ric Flair is actually still with Evolution, but I don't know. I wasn't into that one either. I was glad to hear Ric Flair talk, because I'm always glad to hear Ric Flair talk. He's awesome. So, and the last thing was the main event was Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton, and the Shield interfered. Evolution interfered, and Evolution beat down the Shield, but then miraculously the Shield makes an awesome comeback, and it's like, okay, proving that, you know, the Shield is strong. They may be the stronger unit. This is one of those instances where it's like, you know, I just said that if you're standing tall on TV, you're going to fall on pay-per-view. This is one of those times where I don't think that's going to happen, but I'll get into that later. I did want to talk into the Barrett win was the RVD thing where Swagger and Cesaro got involved. Actually, Cesaro got involved, and then Swagger got involved with Cesaro, and it was a jumbled up mess because I don't think even WWE knows if Swagger is heel or face or if Cesaro is heel or face. So this triple threat match is going to be weird. You align yourself with Paul Heyman, usually you're pretty much heel. That's the way it is. But Cesaro does face things like cheering with the crowd and stuff like that, asking the crowd what they want him to do. That's a face thing to do. So this is going to be a little confusing, and I think that kind of overshadowed the Barrett win, which is okay because Barrett will prove how awesome he is at the pay-per-view. But the Shield looked strong at the end of the night. That was great. So that concludes Raw, which means I'm on the second page of everything, and we're almost through here at, I gotta use my arm here because, okay, at 13 minutes. Okay. My good buddy Darren asked another question, and he changed his name again. Now he's Old Man D, which is... Quit changing your name, dude. Quit changing your name. You change your name more than a new parent changes a diaper. It's confusing. Anyway, follow him, as usual, at TrueNorth73. You all know, because he's been on past 3 times. He did ask a decent question, though. I actually liked it. I'm going to kind of shorten it. Why are Ziggler, Sandow, and Barrett always put over just to be buried? But, of course, he even mentions that, of course, Barrett is in a little bit of a push right now, which is cool. I'll answer that one first because he asked 2 questions. As for Ziggler, he was actually not put over to be buried. What had happened was he was in the middle of a push and he got a concussion. When you get a concussion, you pretty much put on the back burner for a while because you can't wrestle with a concussion. And what had happened was they had to have him drop the title because he wasn't going to be able to defend it for a while. You can't do that with the heavyweight title. You can do that with the U.S. title apparently because Ambrose barely ever. He's defending it on SmackDown Friday. I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but he is defending it. But anyway, as for Ziggler, he had to drop the title because he had the concussion, and when he was finally healed from the concussion, they had already moved on to a different feud, and which meant that Ziggler was left out in the cold. And then right after that, right as soon as that happened, Ziggler made some really dumb comments about Randy Orton, and he was one of the top guys. So you can't talk crap about someone else and expect not to be punished. And he got punished for it. He got pushed into a jobber role, which he looks like he's coming out of that because the people are still standing behind him. So Ziggler, his was his attitude and because of unfortunate circumstances. As for Sandow, I don't know on this. This one's confusing me. He came out and cashed in Money in the Bank and had a stellar match with Cena. I mean, he looked strong in that match. That was not a burial. He looked great. And then the very next week, just loss after loss after loss, and they just started just burying him. I don't really fully understand what Sandow did. He had a great feud with Cody Rhodes, and I mean, he's clearly a talented dude, but I don't know, man. I can't answer you on the Sandow thing. That's nuts. Barrett was the same. The only thing I think about with Sandow is they don't have anything for him right now. I mean, that's the only thing that can be explained. They just don't have anything for him. And I think the same thing falls into Barrett. Barrett was repackaged 3 times, and then he did this Bad News Barrett thing on the JBL and Cole show, and people were like, "Oh, well, this is pretty cool," you know. And then so they're like, "Let's bring it to television," and they did. And that's where Bad News Barrett comes from. So Bad News Barrett is his new persona, and right now the fans are really getting behind it, and now he's getting the push. The thing is, Sandow has never had the fans really, really behind him. I mean, the fans were behind him when he cashed in on Cena, but that was because they didn't want Cena to be champion anymore. You know, it is what it is. Sandow, all 3 of those dudes are just amazingly talented people, and I don't know why the WWE is choosing to go other directions. Especially Ziggler, because Ziggler has actually been in the WWE for 12 years. He's been in there for a long time, and he's just not getting the rub. The other one is, why is Drew with 3MB? I'm going to have to internet high-five you on that, because I am a huge fan of Drew McIntyre. I have been since, years ago. I love that dude. He is so talented, and then he's in this 3MB, and I'm like, oh, he's in a stable. That's kind of cool. But it's like he's in a stable of jobbers, and he does nothing but lose. I mean, for God's sake, he got pinned by El Torito last week. Ugh. And Drew is just, he is so talented, and the only thing I can think of on his end was the whole domestic dispute thing, which actually he was the victim of. He got attacked by his wife, and they look down on domestic violence in the WWE, and I think he's still being punished for that. And also, I just don't think they have anything for him. To me, I think you put him with Sheamus. Have a Scottish-Irish thing going on, man. Have them be 2 powerhouses. I mean, I think that would be great. Just have them be just the Scottish and the Irish, you know, because, I mean, they both love to fight. And I don't know, man. I love Drew McIntyre. Him and Tyson Kidd are 2 of the most underrated wrestlers on the planet. I love both of those dudes. And Evan Bourne is another one. I'm a huge, huge fan of Evan Bourne because I think that he is now what Rey Mysterio was in WCW. He is just awesome. Just everything he does is beautiful. So 3 guys right there that are just really misused. Evan Bourne, it's because of his size. Plain and simple. People can say all they want that size doesn't matter in WWE anymore. That's bullcrap. It matters. It matters. But there's your thing. I don't know why Drew is with 3MB. He's a little too good. Jinder Mahal and Drew and Heath Slater are actually decent athletes. They're below Drew, but that's okay. It's WCW. They'll do what they will. So Ziggler, Sandow, Barrett, all of them. There's your questions. I did have another question. I didn't write it down, but I'll answer it real quick anyway. I don't even remember who asked it. It was an email, so it's not like I can tell you to follow them on Twitter. Pretty much they asked what was up with the John Cena promo. Like, is he turning on the fans? No. Pretty much it's another kind of misdirection. He's making you think that he is turning on you. He's like, why are you guys turning on me? I mean, what did I ever do to you? Kind of thing. And it's just, they're showing a new side to Cena. I still stand by my statement. I stick by my story. I stand by it. That if you're going to turn Cena heel, now's the time. Because he's not the top guy anymore. He still does a lot of the Make-A-Wishes. He still does sells a lot of merchandise, and merchandise is going to take a hit. But what you're going to do is renew Cena. You're actually going to renew him, and in the end, it'll make him stronger. Because the people aren't really, they don't hate Cena because of what he is, what he represents, the fact that he can't wrestle, which I think he can, but it's whatever. They're tired of him. He's been the same character for 10 years, and that gets tiresome. You every now and then you have to go heel, and you have to do. I mean, you're going to end up like Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio hasn't been heel in forever, and people are sick of him. Eventually you have to turn heel. Kofi Kingston right now is the same way. Kofi Kingston is very stale. Even though he's one of the greatest athletes that the WWE has, people don't care about him because that dude has never been heel. He has never been heel. Give him a heel persona. See where that takes him. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing it, but it's just, you know, it's a misdirection. They're not going to turn him heel. I don't think they really have the balls to do that, because that is going to make them take a hit in merchandising, because kids aren't going to buy his stuff anymore. His toys aren't going to sell as well, stuff like that. So you can't really fault WWE for not wanting to lose money, but at the same time, you're going to end up losing money even more because no one's going to buy this guy's stuff because he's stale. But that's okay. Let it go. I can't change anything. I'm going to continue to watch, and I'm not going to bitch about it. So, alright, we're going to get to my predictions. Extreme Rules. I'm at 23 minutes now, so I'm going to try to make this quick, but I'm also going to give my thoughts on them. So, end of the show. It's time to go. Alright. The WeLC match. WeLC will be starting off the pre-show. The El Torito versus Hornswoggle. It's going to be a mini TLC match, which means whatever the prize is going to be hanging down. I'm sure the ref is going to hit his head on it a couple times. They're going to have a little step ladder. It's going to be a joke match, and I mean, I'm not a fan of El Torito at all. I think he's a stupid character. I mean, come on. And Hornswoggle is a leprechaun. Now he's a rock star. I don't know. For the simple fact that he's with 3MB, I want Hornswoggle to win, but he's not going to. El Torito will win this because El Torito is kind of more important, I guess. I don't know. Don't really care, to be honest. I may even skip this match. I just do not care for it one tiny iota. So, it's Torito versus Swoggle. I say Torito takes it. Next, we're going to get to the main show now, and I'm going to say something for WWE right now. I'm going to be an advocate here. There's a lot of matches on this card that or not really a lot, but a few matches on this card that I genuinely don't know who's going to win. And that's impressive to me. I mean, that's really cool. WWE hasn't done that in a while. Usually I can look at a card and say, yeah, he's going to win, he's going to win, he's going to win, he's going to win. But on this one, it's like, I don't know. He could win, but he could also win, kind of thing. You know, that's really cool. And I also commend them on WrestleMania. I actually missed, I think, 3 matches, especially the Undertaker match. I mean, I think there may be a handful of people that actually predicted that, and the people that actually predicted that didn't think it would actually happen. So, congratulations to WWE on being kind of unpredictable recently. Kind of cool. Anyway, main show. I don't know what order these matches are going to be in. I just put them in order of what I give a crap about them. Swagger, RVD, and Cesaro. This will be a Extreme Rules match, triple threat. But don't really care for this match at all. I love RVD, and the fact that RVD is in a Extreme Rules match is cool, which means we're going to see a Van Daminator or a Van Terminator, which is even cooler because those 2 moves are really impressive. However, I'm going to go with Cesaro on this, just for the plain fact that he's being pushed right now. He's the Heyman guy. I think this will probably continue because at some point, I don't know why I see it, and I kind of don't want to see it, but at some point I see Paul Heyman versus Zeb Coulter somewhere down the line, which is, ugh. I'm thinking that this will grow though. There will be a new Zeb Coulter guy, and there will be a new Heyman guy. In fact, I think RVD may even kind of choose sides at Extreme Rules. Kind of doubt it though because he is his own guy. But anyway, Cesaro wins that. Rusev, R-Truth, Rusev versus R-Truth and then Xavier Woods. Before I get to that, I'll go back to Swagger, RVD, and Cesaro for like 2 seconds. Well, I do think Cesaro is going to win that one, but that is one of the matches I was talking about where that could be RVD, Swagger, or Cesaro winning that. So, I mean, I'm going to say Cesaro, but I don't know the actual outcome. Anyway, Rusev versus R-Truth and Xavier. This one's easy. Rusev wins this. However, it's not going to be like what they did with Ryback, where Ryback destroys the 2 guys. This will actually be Rusev kind of struggling to show that he is human. Rusev, I don't like that they're actually doing this because Rusev doesn't need to be facing 2-on-1 because Rusev is actually a really impressive athlete, and they need to start treating him seriously, not making him the monster that squashes people. They need to make him the monster that always wins. It's going to be, they're going to Goldberg him. In the end, no one gave a crap about Goldberg because he never had opposition. It was always come in, spear, jackhammer, over. With Rusev, it's come in, kick, punch, slam, do your finishing move, over. Do the camel clutch. So right there, Rusev takes it, no problem. I do care about the match because I do care about the direction they take with Rusev. Plus, Lana is just gorgeous, and anytime she's there, I'm in. I'm a married man, but sorry. Next, I do kind of care about this match, but I know the outcome of it. Paige and Tamina. Paige has got it because Paige just won the title, and I think they're going to keep the title on Paige until AJ comes back. I think they're going to try to build up Paige to be strong, and I'm hoping they go with NXT Paige in this match where she kicks butt through the whole thing, and not do WWE Paige where Tamina kicks her butt through the entire freaking match and then Paige comes back with a miraculous comeback. I do not see Paige I don't see Paige winning this with the Scorpion crosslock. I don't think she could hold up Tamina. If she does, that's extremely impressive. I think this is going to end by a pinfall. So I think Paige wins it. Paige retains the title. There goes that. The next one is actually another one that I don't know I can't really get the outcome of. Big E and Barrett for the Intercontinental title. Big E is kind of big right now, but Barrett's getting a major push. So, for the sheer fact that Big E's popularity has kind of fallen off, which is kind of true. The fans are kind of abandoning him, and the fans are so much behind Barrett right now. I'm going to say Barrett wins and becomes the new Intercontinental Champion, but the feud might continue. So Barrett wins this one. If Barrett does lose, Big E will win it, but once again the feud will continue. So, but I'm going to say Barrett on this. All right. The next one, this one is another one. I don't know who's going to win it, mainly because it's Cena and Wyatt and Bray Wyatt in the cage match. Because I could have swore Bray Wyatt was going to win it at WrestleMania. I mean, I thought it was stupid for WWE to have him lose. But, so in this one, I don't know. But I'm going to go with Bray Wyatt again because they need to have him win. They have to have him win. They need to make him look strong and quit having Cena go over the young guys. They can't continue to do that. They need to have Bray Wyatt win, and then this has like a Cena, like have, of course the crowd's going to cheer like crazy when Bray Wyatt wins, and this could have another point where Cena's like looking at the crowd like, you're abandoning me. I can't believe you're abandoning me. And you know, this could turn into something big if the WWE lets it. The WWE grows a set and says, hey, you know, this could be huge. We could take Cena and turn him into a monster. You know, turn him into a really disturbed individual. Because what's the one thing everyone fears is being alone. And when the crowd leaves him, he's alone. So, you know, I'm gonna take Bray Wyatt on that. Let's see, Evolution in the Shield. This one's another one that I'm not quite sure who's gonna win it, because Evolution is three dudes whose egos are very big. So it's like, I don't know if they're gonna be willing to lose to these three new guys. But I'm gonna go with the Shield because there is a rumor going around that Batista is taking time off after this pay-per-view. I don't know how true it is. It's not from a very reputable source. So, you know, if Batista's taking time off, then they're going to need the Shield to go over here. If the Shield does not go over, though, if Evolution wins this feud continues. This feud keeps going, and eventually will end with the Shield standing on top. So I'm taking the Shield on this one. The one gripe I have about this match is it's not a gimmick match. They didn't add any stipulations to it. There's no Extreme Rules. There's no cage match. There's nothing like that. It's a missed opportunity here. You have a chance to have a really violent match between two of the greatest stables in the history of the WWE. Just saying, you could have done something with that, but they didn't. But I'm going to say the Shield again. Shield. I'm going to go with the Shield, even though my heart's saying Evolution, because I think this feud's going to continue. Finally, the Extreme Rules match, Kane versus Daniel Bryan. I think this will be a massive beatdown for Daniel Bryan. I think Kane will beat the living hell out of him for a good 20 minutes, and Daniel Bryan will make a miraculous comeback, and he'll win it. Daniel Bryan standing with the belts. I wish they just go to one belt, because the two belt thing's getting on my nerves. I think Daniel Bryan stands tall at the end of this match. Easily. I'm not really into the feud, but I'm actually excited to see the match itself. Bryan wins it pretty easily. I don't have even an inkling of doubt in that. That one's pretty much the one match in the pay-per-view where I have no doubt in my mind that the outcome of it. So Bryan wins it. That is my predictions. I'm going to need to circle these so I can remember them for the prediction pools. So recap. WLC pre-show. That would be Torito. God in heaven, that's gonna be the dumbest match. Swagger, RVD, and Cesaro. Going with Cesaro. Rusev versus R-Truth and Xavier Woods. Got to go with Rusev there. That's another one I really don't think that R-Truth and Xavier Woods have a chance in. Paige and Tamina. Paige keeps her title. Good, because Paige is awesome. Big E and Barrett. I'm gonna say Barrett wins it. Barrett gets the title. Big E no longer needs it. I think Big E will be big at some point, but right now the fans are just kind of tapering off of him. I don't know why. They are. Cena Wyatt. I'm gonna go with Bray Wyatt again. I mean, why not? That's the one I want to win. I wish he would win it. And I mean, Cena eventually has to let a young guy go over. Evolution Shield. I'm going with Shield because Shield is Shield needs this more than Evolution does. Evolution is just, they are the past, and Shield is the future. So, and then with Kane and Daniel Bryan, no doubt Daniel Bryan takes it. So, all right, that will end this. Okay, so the obligatory, you can contact me at SmarkCast. That's the name of this. The name of this podcast. Just look it up. You'll see it. SmarkCast@gmail.com. It's my email address. You can get me on Twitter. Follow me. My dog's sneezing. I wonder if you heard that. Follow me on Twitter. You can just question me on Twitter. You don't have to follow me. I don't care. I'm not one of those guys that cares about followers. I mean, hell, I only have like 350. So I don't really chase people. I don't, most people just follow everyone and hope they follow back. But I don't really care about followers. My stuff spreads word of mouth. I don't have any advertising. But you can follow me on there if you want, at @Darren, MINUSDARRIN. I will have it in the description as usual. So, I'm hoping you dig this episode, and if you're gonna, if you have any disagreements with the predictions, you can hit me up. You can even comment on this on YouTube. Like, there's a comment section here. I got comments on my very first video. I haven't got any comments after that. That's all right. I mean, my views are not very high either. So, but I do this for fun. I don't do this to get like people like me. Do it as a hobby. So anyway, I am -Darren. This is the SmarkCast, and thanks for watching.